What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a weekend of controversy. That's right. Our boy Phil found himself in a hell of a mess, which of course he created. And instead of just simply apologizing, taking ownership over his actions, he decided to double down. And it never works when you double down, because you make yourself look like an idiot, and eventually you end up apologizing, and people mock you for coming late to the party. Anyway, let's see what Phil had to say on the Daily Rap.
25, a Sunday, and my return day from having 2 days off this week. And so a lot went down today. Allow me to get you all caught up because a lot of stuff is changing this week with the schedule and things going on. So let's summarize, shall we? So first off, today I showed off my new setup, and as you can see, man, it looks different, does it not? To actually have the blue in the middle of the backdrop and have white around the edges really allows the back wall to pop with color. But you're not going to see the color around my head, so people are kind of adjusting to that, like, wow, you look different. Like, yeah, you just having a different backdrop can completely change the look and the vibe of a broadcast. It really can. So that's why when I do these changes, I'm like, ooh, I hope that this looks cool or that looks cool. For the most part, people like the change. And the thing is, I have the ability to change this backdrop every month. I can either have it white, blue, or black in the center or on the edges because I have all three colors. So for this month, we're rolling with this, and people seem to like it. As you can see, some new things, and I explain them all on the show if you have some questions about what they may be, because this one here has some big history, this thing right here in my background. So all that was explained on the podcast. We talked about all kinds of stuff, really. It was just a nice, chill podcast today. Yes, I talked about the nonsense that my detractors tried to cause on the internet over the past couple of days that I had nothing to do with, and all of that. So if you want all that, watch the podcast, okay? Then we jumped into Avowed.
All right, so this is exactly what I said here, where our boy Phil decided he wanted to, he wanted to go into a crowded elevator, fart, and then just walk away scot-free, and didn't want to take any accountability, didn't want to be held culpable for anything his chat did. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about here, and you've been out for the week, and you've actually have, a life and family and so on, our boy Phil the other day attacked another content creator on Kick because the detractors were going to his stream and talking about Phil, and she was interested in the lore and decided she wanted to lean into the meme of Phil and did everything right. That's right. She wore a vest. She blew bubbles. She even did an IRL stream at the zoo. Yes, that's right. And if you need to catch up, check out my videos. It'll detail everything about it. And then, of course, in Phil's typical style, he decided to come on the next day and yell and scream at this person and actually call her an e-thought. That's right. He called her a sex worker. He insulted her and her partner. It was pretty ugly. It was pretty disgusting. And then, of course, after he ranted and raved about that person and, of course, detractors, because, yes, detractors are always to blame, one of his viewers decided they needed to defend Phil and started threatening this person, this content creator, and was pretty vile and disgusting, to the point so that the community rallied and this incel decided to delete all of his socials. But thankfully, they found out exactly who he is, where he's from, and so on, because of course, the moron, like a typical, DSP viewer or super dent, all of his information was out there on Twitter and Facebook and everything else. So I'm not saying go harass the person, even though the guy is no longer on social media, but everyone knows who this guy is anyway. And I'm pretty sure the authorities were contacted and the information was passed along. But, Phil was brought, we brought this to Phil's attention, and of course, Phil's go-to reaction is to scream and yell and blame detractors and not take any accountability. So much so that he even tried to go with the, oh, I don't even know who this person is. I've never seen her content. I have no beef with her. I don't even know her name. Yeah, Phil, and that's the reason why you ranted and raved for 2 days, calling her out specifically and calling her an e-thought and so on, right, Phil? Anyway, but all that, Doody made videos on it. It's out on this channel. You can go check it out. And yeah, I mean, and it's still not over. It isn't. It's still not over because, Phil decided he wanted to, again, double down last night and rant and rave and yell at detractors And yeah, I mean, this will go on for a couple more days until the next event. And as far as I know, StrangelyLex is not going to end detracting on Phil. She's going to keep leaning on the memes. And yeah, let's see how Phil continues to react to this behavior instead of just denouncing this scumbag from his community. No, he did the Derek approach where I'm not responsible. I'm only responsible for what happens on this stream. No, Phil, you're responsible, Phil, especially when a degenerate like this guy is making threats in your name. Yep, you have a responsibility as a content creator to at least condemn that person's actions, and if they're following you either on X or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, you need to ban them. I mean, that at the very minimum, Phil, that's what you should do. That's what most civilized humans would do. But anyway, let's keep going.
And after 2.5 hours of Avowed, I basically explored a ton of the open world map that's available here at the beginning of the game, and it was quite fun. Like, I'm not going to lie, I like the open world exploration, and I like the open world, like dungeons, puzzles, enemies, looting system, upgrades. I'm just enjoying myself a lot with the open nature of Avowed. I still haven't advanced the plot. In fact, what's happening is, as I'm exploring, I'm killing rare enemy bosses and saying, oh, you completed a bounty and you can trade this in the city. Well, I haven't been to the city yet. I'm not going there yet. So when I get to the city, I'm going to be trading in a bunch of missions and stuff. I'm getting like quest items and stuff for missions I don't have. So just the exploration, I feel like this is going to be cool because when we get to the city, I'm going to get like an insane amount of rewards and probably plot advancement, which will be pretty cool. Today I even found some new rare weapons and a new loadout stuff, and I'm having a great time. The chat, okay? To be honest, some people were enjoying the chill vibe, the laid-back nature. We were having fun conversation, just having a good time. And others are just like, oh, I don't like it, it's boring. So what ended up happening was we started off with a good amount of people, for the return podcast, and then halfway through the stream, they all left. Oh, I don't like Avowed. Now, here's the funny part about it. When you ask them what you don't like about Avowed, oh, it's woke. We haven't seen a single woke thing in the game yet. So even though it might be in there, it hasn't affected my playthrough. So why are you leaving because the game is woke? Oh, the plot is bad. We're not doing the plot. You see? We're doing the overworld exploration. So how can you say the plot is bad? And every time I bring this up and I address it, crickets, because the people, they can't say anything because people are not liking this game solely on the fact that people on the internet have panned it. Reviewers and other people. For the parts I'm playing, I'm having a great time. And I don't understand that mentality of, oh, because a bunch of people told us it's bad, it's bad. But did you play it? Are you watching me play it? The parts I'm playing are good. Maybe we will get to bad parts later. And maybe that's a good thing that we'll see that firsthand. But can we get to them first before you leave? People say all the time they want chill streams with me, so I give you a chill stream and then people complain and leave, right? Anyway, I had a good time with it. I do want to continue playing it, and I am going to do more streams of it. Now, am I still committing to a full playthrough? No, I'm not, because I feel like maybe we are going to hit a wall. Maybe we are going to hit a point where it is going to be annoying, okay? And if that's the case, then we'll stop playing. But as of now, I am still enjoying myself. I don't see a reason why I should stop playing a game that I'm enjoying and really liking hanging out with you guys. But here's the bummer. We got $110 of support, so we didn't hit a goal. Why? I'm not kidding you, because people kind of left. They were like, I don't like it, and they left. But then they couldn't explain why they didn't like it, So, yeah, we got good support, just we didn't hit the goal, all right? Tonight's late stream was completely up in the air because I said I wanted to do something.
All right, so there you have it, folks. We wouldn't have a DSP daily rap without Phil threatening to wage quit something. And that's what he's doing here, folks. He's threatening to wage quit. Now, the little dirty secret here is Phil doesn't really have any other games to play. What else does he have in his lineup that he's playing that, interests anyone? Call of Duty? It seems to be the only thing that brings viewers out because they love seeing this guy suck at Call of Duty. He refuses to play Warzone because he's got off of Warzone. Yeah, I mean, fighting game, that's it. Like Call of Duty and fighting games. I mean, he's gonna talk about last night's stream where I think they ended up hitting I don't know what it was, because some dent came out. Oh, OIC came out of the woodwork and decided to drop some major support on Phil because, of course, he didn't hit the tip goal. That's right, he didn't hit the reward goal on the first stream. And it's a far cry from the days of $50 was good, was a good stream. He got, 110, I think, because at the very end, someone came in and dropped some subs. But he's still bitching and complaining because he didn't hit that arbitrary tip goal of 150, or, that Dent streak goal. It's just sad. It's just sad. Now that our Chef Sakai is gone, once the Kino guys started up again, I believe they're back this week, but they're probably going to start streaming towards the middle of the week. Yeah, all Dark Side Pimp, the people that have been trying to, the people that have been trying to make up for the loss of Iron Chef Sakai, they're gonna go. They're gonna go and whale out to Kino Casino. It happened the last time they took vacation. I think around Christmas time. They took vacation. Some of his dents went over to Phil. They dropped some cash. He got some nice, some subs. And then literally when they came back, the support completely dried up. They went back to Kino. And I expect the same thing to happen this week once they start streaming again. It's a precarious time for Phil. It really is. We're going to see way more streams where he doesn't hit that goal. And I talked before that he's going to move the goalpost yet again. He's probably going to start saying, all right, folks, well, you know what? If I don't get $150 per stream, as long as I get $300 for the day, I'll count that as 2 goals. He's going to do that because last night, I think he was at like 185 or 190, and he went overtime. He went overtime trying to get the 300. He was so desperate to get the 300. And then when he noticed that didn't happen, he was like, all right, guys, well, let's get at least to 200, right? He wanted to get to 200 because he wanted to say, I guess in his mind, he wanted to feel successful and say, well, I made $300 for, if you combine both streams, I actually made $300. Because, of course, Phil really doesn't care about rewards or whatever. He cares about money. And whether he gets $10 on one stream and $290 on the other stream, as long as he's getting that $300, he's good to go in his eyes, honestly. I mean, that way, what's he foregoing? DoorDash, which he DoorDashes every day anyway. I mean, the reward thing is simply just an excuse to DoorDash. Oh, I'm not ordering DoorDash for me. It's a reward for everyone else. Get bent, Phil. All right, let's keep going.
Indie. And I said I wanted to do something new. People have been asking me for a new indie game in the rotation for a while. And I said, well, let's just do something off the cuff. And we talked about some game possibilities this morning on the podcast. But the funny part was when I turned on the stream, there was a whole new crowd. And they were awesome. They were like, what about this game? What about this game? So right off the top, they were like, what about Buckshot Roulette? What about a game about digging a hole? What about Poppy's Playtime? What about Missing Hiker? What about this? What about... Like, whoa, that's a lot of games. All right. So I started getting them all. And tonight I said, well, let's just start with the most random of them all. A game about digging a hole, which apparently a lot of people are playing on PC and raving about and saying it's great. So I start playing it, and to be honest, the entire game is digging. It kind of feels like Minecraft, only it's not blocky. It's better graphics than that. It's more realistic physics. And all you're doing is digging, looking for ores that you sell. Once you sell, you buy more upgrades to either your shovel, your battery pack, which powers your automatic shovel, your jetpack, which lets you fly out of the caves, because you can't really jump in this game. You fly with the jetpack, or inventory, because you want more space to hold more of the ores you're finding. And then as you go down there, you find some cool stuff. You'll find some different kinds of rock, different kinds of ore, secret areas where you can get hidden items and stuff. And it gets more intriguing the further you play and get in. So I actually was liking it, and people were digging it. We were having a great time. Kick staff came back and put me on the front page again. So we ended up getting like 100, 200 extra viewers. And we just interacted and chilled all night. And guess what? We hit the goal. We actually exceeded it a bit. We didn't hit 2 goals tonight, but we did do good, in that regard. And the game's great. Now, I think we're about 2/3 through it, because by the end of the stream, we had gotten the final upgrades for the shovel and the battery. And it looks like we're probably going to, be very close to getting the final upgrades for everything.
All right, Doody can only put up so much with his boringness. Anyway, yeah, that's right. Our boy Phil is playing a game, digging a hole, and how poetic that is. How poetic that digging the hole is a game that managed him to hit that goal. Very poetic. That's right, Phil digging a hole with StrangelyLex and the Kick community and everyone else. He keeps digging instead of stopping and reassessing and chill with the digging. He keeps digging his grave more and more and more. So like I said earlier, he ended up getting like 175 or something like that. He went about 30 minutes overtime trying to get to 300 or at least to 200 so that he can feel like he was a successful streamer and hit that $300 total for the day. But of course it didn't happen. Dark Side Pimp ran out of cash. He could only muster to give, I think, like 5 or 6 subs. Wow, 5 or 6 subs. I mean, this guy used to drop like 20 subs a day, and he can barely crack like 5 subs a week. Wait, just keep. Let's wait until the dog days of March march along, and let's see if Phil will decide not to be upset with Iron Chef Sakai. Let's see if he's willing to welcome him back. And Doody's going to do everything in his power to make sure that Iron Chef Sakai continues simping for StrangelyLex and avoid giving Phil any money. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll be streaming today at 10:30. Hope to see you there. Peace out.